Hello and welcome to another masterpiece. Oh no, that's not what this is. This is actually Mindful Mondays. Don't worry, don't turn the channel as you're on the right thing. It's with your host Johnny, Queercentric, and the counselor who knows way more than me, which is Holly McGinnis. So we're super excited to be here. Listen, I stopped numbering episodes, I just title them.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it doesn't matter what order you watch them in, you decide what you're here for. And this is a hot button that I would say all of us, whether we've learned to deal with it or not, this is something we all have had to go through, which is tell me one person who says they love change. Please. And I'm not talking about the stuff in your pocket. No, exactly. I don't know anyone who loves it. Now, some people have learned to go with it and learn things, but why do you think we hate change so much?
Because we get used to things. We are habit-forming creatures.
Oh, yeah.
We like things the way they are, even if they're bad, because it's what we know. When we have to change what we know, we don't like that. No. It's ironic that I chose the field that I'm in, because it truly is never the same day twice. Yeah. And yet, I can get so stuck in not wanting to make change.
Well, what's that cliche? The misery we know is better than the misery we don't.
Exactly.
Which is why we stick to things that maybe aren't the best for us.
Yeah, I mean, we will. The analogy I like to use is you're on a road, and the road in front of you looks pretty good. It's got some bumps here and there, and lots of lights of hope. But there's a mist there because we don't know the future.
Right.
Behind us is the world's worst road. Might not be all bad, and this analogy was typically used with my co-occurring, my addiction and mental health folks. It is ripped out, full of potholes, culverts washed out, and a lot of people turn around and go back down that road because they know it's going to happen, even though it's going to suck, even though it's going to be awful.
I love this idea of there are lights of hope around it, because I am a wait for the other shoe to drop, because that's how my dad was. And so those lights, I'm always convinced, are like a semi or something that's going to run me over. But I love the idea of hope. I have this, it's this dichotomy struggle within inside me, because I love hope. Mm-hmm. It's my favorite thing. And that's a beautiful way to look at the road. They're lights of hope. You can choose those, or you can be me, and you don't want to do that and be on a subway.
You can choose to live your life or exist.
Yeah. Oh.
And you can look at life as an adventure or something to fear. And it takes time sometimes. We've been through hell. A lot of people have been through hell. Yeah. And it might take going to counseling a little bit. It might take just making a huge change. Yeah. You know, when I was not born in Spokane. I was not born in Washington State. I was born in a very small town in Indiana.
How dare you?
I know. Right outside Cincinnati, Ohio, which makes me a Bengals fan. Hoo day.
Yes, you are a very big Bengals fan, as a matter of fact.
Huge Bengals fan. And life wasn't going good for me there. I had dropped out of college. I had, there was no reason. And I met who is now my best friend. She said, "You want to go to Spokane with us?" Wow. I had nothing. I was going home to a really dysfunctional house, or I was going to start a new adventure. And I was 20 years old when I did it, and I'm 54 now. And I've lived in Spokane all of that time, since I was 20 years old.
That's amazing.
And I built a whole new life.
And it's the only way to do it. I think one of the fascinating things about fear and change, which I used to, for my life, it's weird to have a fear of change, because in my life, change doesn't give me an option most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of my favorite quotes of all time, I was working at a coffee shop, it was painted on the wall, and it was, "Nothing changes if nothing changes." So that's the thing I always have to remind myself, which is something else comes from change other than, we all doomsday it, is that you have the opportunity to have an even more amazing adventure, but you have to allow the change. Yeah, so absolutely. If you stay put, nothing changes. And so if nothing changes, nothing changes. It's this cyclical but absolutely beautiful, it's the only way forward. Yeah. Yeah, or you can stay, right where you're at.
Yeah. And change doesn't have to be moving across the country or moving anywhere. It can be checking out a new place.
Yeah.
You know, be willing to try something new, you know. The other one, I am a little embarrassed to tell this one, but
those are my favorite.
In 2020, on Halloween, the second full moon, I decided to go learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't do very well. I laid it down, sprained my wrist.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a little hurt. Black and blue from my waist to my ankles.
Ow.
I was not happy. But I don't regret it. So now, because my kids don't want me to die,
that's helpful.
We're going next year for a 3-wheel endorsement instead.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah, and so I can ride, and my oldest doesn't worry that I'm going to be killed.
Now they understand what it's like when you're a parent and your kid wants to ride a motorcycle. It's just reverse.
And I've been through that.
Yeah.
Because my youngest has a, for lack of a better word, crotch rocket.
Yeah.
But he's very safe on it, and I know he's gotten it to 100 more than once.
Right.
But I don't want to see that.
There is nothing in life that is not a risk. There is
absolutely
not
true.
one thing. You just have to decide which risk you're willing to take.
You take a risk every morning.
Yeah.
You woke up. You put your feet on the floor. Congratulations, you survived your first risk.
I like to think most people take a risk just by interacting with me. Because you don't know.
Exactly.
If the coffee hasn't been taken yet,
no.
This could be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, it could.
And these days, even if the coffee has been taken, it's a bumpy ride.
You've never done that to me. But I'll cuss you.
See, that's because there's people I love and appreciate.
All right.
And then there's others. Listen, I know I seem very jovial, but I don't like most people.
Yeah,
but
don't make it mad.
No, yeah, don't do that. I'm nice until I'm not nice, is what I like to say to people. But the other thing, though, that plays within change, and this is what I did for 2 decades of my life, which is sometimes you get addicted to change.
Yeah.
So it can go both ways. I have lived in so many places in so many states because I was running. I always say I was running.
Yeah.
And I thought the scenery change meant life changed. But wherever you go, there you are. Yeah. And I had to learn that as well and go, oh, maybe my dissatisfaction with life has nothing to do. It's like when people like to say that the area we live in, Spokane, as Holly had mentioned, it's horrible, there's nothing to do here. Well, that's one way to look at it. Or there's plenty to do
There's
here.
There's a lot to do
it
here
depends.
if you check it out.
Yeah, and so it's amazing. What do you do if you are so addicted to change that maybe you just keep running?
You need to get a therapist.
Hell yeah.
You need somebody to talk to. Because if you're running, trying to find something, it's like when we spoke about relationships. It's no different than trying to find somebody to fix you.
Yeah.
You're trying to find another change that will fix you. This will make me feel better. This will make me feel better. And it can be really hard. Change is everywhere. And sometimes we've gotten ourselves into a situation such as maybe substance use. And people are afraid to stop because they've been running proverbially from pain.
Yeah, it's the way they're band-aiding themselves in that aspect. Someone once told me that I need to be careful being single as long as I am because you're going to get real used to that and not change it. Yeah. Change is this never-ending ebb and flow of life. It's the energy that we surround ourselves with. And so you have to be, like, there are times when I'm in therapy that I want to ask my therapist at the end if she's okay. It's a lot. But change is something you need to learn to embrace, but do it with wisdom. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
understand, like anything else, it can also do the opposite, and you can, find yourself running.
Yeah. You need to exercise your change muscle frequently.
Right.
If you don't, then nobody will come into your life.
Exactly, which I'm okay with right now. So you can write me. Someone asked me if I was ready to get married. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? But the most important thing is, what is that old Roman philosopher? Know thyself. Like with anything we ever talk about, I think the through line in that silver or the golden thread, as Holly would say, is the most important thing we can take is to know ourselves more. Everything in life gives you the opportunity to know who you are. And I think if you can go there, then you're going to be able to navigate a little better.
Absolutely.
And like you said, counselors, that's what they're there for. So don't be afraid of it. Sometimes it's helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, embrace it. It may not feel comfortable. You know, sometimes it's changing a job. You're just burnt out in your job. You need something new. And, you know, sometimes things don't go well. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of getting older, is all the wisdom you gain.
All the wisdom you gain and all the I don't give a shit. That is my favorite. My favorite phrase is my give a damn is broken. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I'm all out of fucks.
Yeah. Yes, Ted. No fucks left to give. So, and I think we need to embrace that. There's a reason why you talk to older people and they seem so, they don't care. And there's a part of me that respects it so much.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Of course, my children will tell you I've been this way their whole lives. So there's that.
And that's beautiful too. There is a glimmer of those beautiful hope lights out there.
Oh, yeah.
Those are beautiful things to embrace. Any parting thoughts for people who are trying to, they're trying to balance what changes in their life?
Start small and build up. It's like working out. You can't run a 4-minute mile if you don't run 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Build up, strengthen, learn that fail. Some people don't like, oh my God, the two most hated words that I just cannot stand are mistake and failure.
Thank you, exactly.
Because they're chances to learn.
Yep.
And if you're not willing to learn, then you're going to stagnate and you're going to get upset and the world's going on around you and you're just existing.
Yeah.
You're sitting on a log watching the world go by.
Listen,
don't do that.
No.
You don't have to worry
Unless
about
it's
it.
for a moment of peace, then okay.
That's okay.
But
that's
other than that,
mindfulness.
Yeah,
what we've talked about.
As we say every week, please, if you have any questions, maybe you have suggestions
Please.
on some subject matter you want us to talk about, maybe you have a comment or a question for Holly, please feel free to do that.
Absolutely. Love to hear from you.
Yes, it's amazing. So, until next Monday, go have a mindful week.
Bye. Bye.